let me call this order. So, it's Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. It's the planning board meeting. Thank you for attending, sir. All right, so first on the agenda, we'll go through these, and then once we review the minutes, then we'll go back to what we're starting to discuss. So first thing, oh wait, got the motion first? No, I don't, just the minutes. Come on with it. So yeah, we'll start with the March 19th minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So probably. Yeah.
We're just reviewing the minutes from March 19th.
Yeah, battle's over, huh?
Yeah, right.
This is a lull.
It's the eye of the hurricane.
As soon as we can get some planning done.
This is it. This is the all-time least amount of people that I've ever seen.
We done? Yes.
Yeah.
Not so real cheap. Just yeah. Yeah. Too much.
Oh, do you have a copy?
No, there should be a packet on the table for you. It should be right where you're sitting.
This is?
You would have the agenda on top of it.
Are you reading this one there?
No, these are my.
And it's not even here, it's not racing.
Just let me know once you guys are done. What's that? Is it about the minutes? No. Okay. You guys are all good? Okay, so. Yeah, you can do that. Okay. So Brendan, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Any modifications? Nobody, right? Andy? All right, so I motion to accept the minutes as they are.
Second?
All right, we'll go with Andy as the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. That one's good. So the next one is March 28th workshop minutes. And just, once you're finished, just say, I'm good. That way. You can All right, any modifications, Brendan? Cliff? Rick? Andy? And Nate? Motion to accept the minutes as they are.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, you guys have it. All right, review 13th public informational meeting minutes. All right. Just let me know once you guys review it. I do have one thing, Lindsay. Cliff pointed out today. At the end, it says the next planning board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 16th at 6 p.m. That should be 7 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Andy, you good?
Yeah.
All right. Motion to accept all the minutes as they are.
Second.
Nate seconds. All those in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. All right, so next one is review topics of public information meeting on April 13th. Finalized articles to be voted on. All right, so for you guys that weren't there, I think we had, I guess, around 20-ish people that showed up. We went through these articles one by one. We scrapped Article 7, and then Articles 2 and 3, we had them as one line. Brennan brought up the point that we should mirror the land use current zoning authorizations for retail shops and separate it into two lines. So that's happened. It's medical marijuana retail stores less than 4,000 feet, and that mirrors what's in the ordinance here. And then retail stores more than 4,000 feet mirrors what's in the land use for existing retail stuff. Now, the thing I thought was interesting, and I talked to David about this today, is under Public Works, you guys see there's a site plan review there? That's not on any of our current zoning maps. Apparently it goes from, it's like an elliptical from Ossipee Shore down to Cub Hill.
That's Public Works. So-
Yeah, well, it's PW, which is
It's a
Public water.
overlay.
Public Water Protection, I'm sorry. The purpose of the Public Water Protection District is to protect the groundwater aquifer and recharge area that is a source of water for the public water system. The Public Water Protection District is shown in Parsonsfield Land Use District map as an ellipsoidal area beginning on the shore of the Ossipee River where the public water wells are located and continuing to the peak of Cub Hill. Now, what's interesting about that for me is like it expands from, if that's the case, like from here somewhere down here, so it encompasses a couple different zones, like village, or I don't know if it's village or like this way or village residential. Either way, like it's like one of the only ones that has a site plan review thing in there. I just thought it was interesting, worth bringing up. I don't have any problems with mirroring what we have in the ordinance.
Anything to do with water protection,
Right. And so Article 3 mirrors Article 2 because we likened that the retail stores and dispensaries must be interchangeable. There was no modification to Article 4. Article 5. There was no modification, and Article 6 there was no modification. I also updated under Article 2, under explanatory note, paragraph P, it says operate one retail store to sell harvested marijuana. I put in parentheses and marijuana products because that was brought up by the caregiver at Newfield.
On a question on these, details like that, what do we know about, so, we vote on this tonight. Technically, this is that, right? Or whatever, something's about, what do we, at what point do we have to come back to it, like, if we make an edit, if there's an edit, like a grammatical edit or something like that, that's something we need to review again before, or is it, where's that line? Just curious.
So from my understanding, after we vote on this tonight, we bring it to the public hearing. From the public hearing, it's then considered a warrant article for the selectmen. What we vote on tonight should be the finalized version that's there. Now, you're saying in the future, like if there's an amendment that needs to happen to that ordinance itself, that has to go through again for town.
No, I guess I'm more like if somebody in here, we've been over it, but something we discovered more like on the grammatical side, something edit and change, edit has to be.
Like an administrative.
Yeah, I
think
is that something we have to worry about or not?
I mean, if we have the public hearing, you would think that we still have, we want to take in also that public hearing's consideration, correct? So we'd still be able to take advance the
Lindsay, do you have that that article that you emailed everybody about the process in there? For bringing this to the
It's
town?
in the ordinance book. I only printed off a portion of that and.
It's in our land use ordinance book?
Yeah, so if you look in the table, you should see amendment. It's kind of towards the back. I think, no, it's not. I'm sorry. It's page 13 is page 12 is where it starts. Section 10, amendment. And then,
Well, I guess, yeah. What I was talking about was the process to get this to be a warrant article, not an amendment.
that's where I got this from.
Okay.
You
all right.
can read further on. I made a copy of this, but I didn't make a copy of the entire thing. It keeps going on. There's effective date, availability. There's a couple more sections to it.
Okay.
I didn't look into that too much.
Okay. Yeah, the important thing that was asked during the informational meeting was if one of these articles does not pass, like how could that be readdressed? What we told them at the time was you need to do up a new warrant and get it to select people to put it for a vote. Now, Lindsay brought this up right after the meeting closed under D on page 13. It says proposed changes to the ordinance which have been unfavorably acted upon may not be considered again within 2 years of the date of the town meeting action unless proposed change is recommended by the vote of 80% of the entire regular membership of the planning board. So what that means there is so if one of these specific articles doesn't pass, like say Article 4, for 2 years it can't be readdressed unless we get 4 out of 5 planning board members to approve it. And that doesn't mean the planning board has to write it. That means it has to come before the planning board and be voted upon. We just need to make sure and make that point at the public hearing. Yeah, so administrative stuff?
Yeah, I guess, but I'm also, that brings up a point though, talking about the public hearing, I mean, you know, we'll have, putting forward something that we have voted on, say this is what we're discussing. I mean, we've already had the public input as far as creating, you know, and making sure that, you know what I mean? I think, so this is more, I think the purpose, I mean, obviously, the purpose of the public hearing is broad, but it's more for, I think, the community to talk about it with each other. I mean, because if we do then make a substantial change, or if we're looking at like, oh, well, we're gonna take public input here and then try to change it, then what, can they start over?
Yeah.
Right? We gotta do public, you know,
So-
so that's not really,
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think we should change.
I don't
what
think
we
that,
voted.
and that's not outside the realm of what the public, you know, a public hearing on this would be expected, I would think, you know, I mean, at some point, we could be discussing what is gonna be in front of voters.
Right.
Right, and that's kind of what this will be, so we're not, I guess, I'm just gonna, I'm just talking out loud because of what you said, and you think about that, kind of, I think that's not really what's gonna happen, right? I think we need to make that clear, I mean, unless, but what if there is some, like, I don't know.
Really good
Some
ideas.
compelling, I don't know, I can't imagine, it's pretty straightforward. I think it's gonna boil down, that's why I think it's gonna boil down to people discussing their concerns or, you know. If there are two different sides to the discussion, shall we say, but I guess it seems to me like that's the focus of the public hearing, is more public hearing each other. That's what's gonna happen, obviously, and to make sure they understand what, how, you know, how this all works, how they explain the vote and all that. So, yeah.
No, you're good. I mean, it's a valid question. Yeah, my inclination, and I mean, really, this one's like up to the board entirely, like, as a whole, it's like, my recommendation is, once we vote on this, like, it goes to public hearing. If it's not well received, like, that's what we've proposed, and we're pushing it for warrant to the select people.
I think barring any legal changes, any changes that need to be made because for, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I guess,
If in the vetting process, somebody says, oh, wait, you know,
well, I guess that was my, because, you know, you were talking about like, basically like syntax and punctuation, stuff like that, like, I would think that after a public hearing, if someone points out like, oh, like, grammatically, it should be here, like, maybe we could,
I'm asking because I know
Yeah,
none of us have done this, and I don't know when the last time it was done.
I'm pretty sure once the select board takes it, though, they're gonna have the town lawyer review it.
that makes sense.
So then at that point, it's barring any, like, all of a sudden, these lawyers, like, this is something that's not.
Yeah, so that's also why, like, I gave MMA a copy to make sure that there was no gross, like, weird things happening, and then the Southern Maine planning, just to cover, like, our bases.
Right, so it's we're reasonably confident that this is the format of this, it's within line with what's supposed to be. Voting and all that, so.
One suggestion I have is public meeting and that we come up with one sheet of paper that we can say everything that process. So we can say it and also have it. That process is made again, sheet of paper, steps, that way people have something right there in front of them.
Or at least I would end up.
Yeah, right.
Just a timeline, yeah, that's
There's
what
a
happens.
timeline, you know.
Yeah.
That way,
The
if
timeline will also
you
explain
forget
how
something,
this works.
if you forget one little piece,
But,
this will cover that, if you can't.
I think, I like that, it's simple, because I think, you know, but it is so much new stuff.
would anybody like to write that up? We should.
I don't like that much. I mean, I'd say, you know what, that's not a good idea.
To be able to.
We don't need that. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Would you be able to do that? Would you be able to just write up a one-sheet process of, like, step 1 to 10 of?
Yeah, I'll write something up and pass it on to you guys, and you can agree on it, you know, and if you all agree on it.
And then, well, we'll do it with that document, this kind of, we'll talk about this more later, but with that document, that'll go into like the bylaws and standard operating procedure for the board to practice further on, so. Yeah. Okay. So does anybody have any questions or comments, like conversations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regarding I wasn't here for these workshops and for this meetings. however, I can't imagine that anybody would vote for one article and not vote for the rest of them, because basically, with the exception of the table, which shows where things are allowed and not allowed, they're all the same. And some, but that's just a side note. My concern with this,
You mean the same as in like,
if you vote for one article, I can't see how you would be not wanting to vote for another.
yeah,
They're basically the same.
Well, I think some people could be okay with like retail, but maybe not with manufacturing. And like, I'm just hypothetically.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that, it's possible, and I think that's also why we separated it into a number of articles rather than just like one overarching article. Just gives people the choice, even if they feel, because if you have it all in one article, then it's like, oh, well, I wouldn't mind the
It's
retail.
all or
but-
nothing, yeah, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe not, but I feel like it's.
I understand your point, it's well taken. The other thing that I mentioned to you earlier was the issue of fees. And I don't know if it's sort of part of this, right?
yeah, so I mean, that's not something that we've tackled yet. So this is specifically,
When
but
this goes into force, won't those fees go into force?
no.
And what's the mechanism for getting those into?
So that's after we discuss this, there's two things that we can talk about. We can talk about the recreational zoning, and then, yeah, the adult use, excuse me, yeah. Zoning, which I left all the stuff empty here. And then some of the other towns have adopted an overarching ordinance for.
Whether your cultivation and distribution. or-
Right, that one, yeah. And I mean, like, I just,
So these are not tied to that anyway.
no,
Right.
This is
this is
to deal
strictly
with the-
zoning.
Yeah, to make us, get us to opt in or.
Right. So, yeah, this one's strictly zoning. The other one is more about like, if the town wants to make people like sign up to say, they're gonna run a retail adult use store, they would require a license from the town.
So the ones that you had sent out in the email, they were just copies from some other towns or something?
Yeah, well, so the two land use ordinances, those are.
Yeah, the cultivation and distribution ordinance, and then
Right.
maybe the fee schedule. There was a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
things that were sent
So-
out together.
Right, those two were, like,
Just
Models to
models to
work
work off of.
right.
It's just
And then
something to chew
the
on.
other two were the two land use ordinance, the adult use and the.
And that's future stuff we have to tackle, basically.
Right, yeah, and so the immediate one is the medical marijuana, the next one should probably be the adult use.
Right,
And
and then
then,
we'll be able to tackle it before it's,
Yeah.
ahead of the curve.
Yes.
does that answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay.
Are you comfortable with that? Like, not getting
yeah, sure.
into that
I was
now?
just a little bit concerned with the whole mechanism of the fees and the balance of the fees, how that was gonna play out. But if it's not, if it's just like a beginning point that we're gonna come from, that's fine.
Yeah.
The other concern I have, is not with the way this is written, but how it's gonna play out.
Okay.
Which is, what's our enforcement for this? I mean, we're opening up a whole new area that we're gonna have to rent. Presumably, but I mean, I don't know how big it's gonna be, maybe it's gonna be three operations. But, in a worst case scenario, it could be a lot.
Well, I mean, there's different kinds of enforcement. I mean, our enforcement is our ordinance and any building codes that are part of that, so. And of course, any business that's operating with their licensing essentially, I mean, the way I look at it is, if you're a medical, if you're a caregiver, you have, you already have your business license. That's what that is, It's, so we're not, I mean, we want to get into that. I think that's, as far as fees as a town, if there's going to be a fee structure or anything like that, there's different things. I mean, the towns are doing that. That was part of the big talk, but, I mean, that's not where we're at right now. It's just simply like.
Where it goes.
So-
Yeah, so I guess to answer what you're saying, as far as with this stuff here, once we vote it in, and yeah, this is part of our ordinance, and our CEO has to enforce this as far as, if someone comes to him, wants to open a store, the first thing they're gonna have to do is show like, what's your plan, like how big is it, That's
All right, so
it.
they fulfill all that stuff on paper, and they open a store, and then it becomes problems, and the neighbors complain. That's where we fall down, as I understand it, from
So,
looking at some of,
I think.
so that's why the Good Clause Act portion is in all of these, or what is it?
good cause,
Good Clause Act, yeah.
which makes all of our, like, so anybody can cite it as a public nuisance, and then you'd have to investigate it.
Well, so this isn't for the code enforcement officer. This is for, the board itself being able to revoke, things. So, what's,
But that's only if it's a conditional use permit, right?
right, so, from my understanding, like, the code enforcement officer isn't gonna be like the badge carrying marijuana enforcer. What, like, the tool that the state is giving municipalities is the ability to regulate this through zoning, through buildings, right? And so, the code enforcement officer can enforce codes when it has to do with zoning and particular businesses being in particular places. Or ordinance, yeah.
Enforce our ordinance, so.
But like, as far as the smells and stuff, I don't know, that's
Maybe future things we have.
well, that's why the other towns have passed like the example ordinance. I emailed you guys out because there's a thing in there that says with enforcement and penalties. And it also, like, the cities issue a license, and if somebody violates a term of that license or they get complaints, and they don't get renewed the next year.
I think we gotta have some teeth in this, because this is pretty much just based on a series of procedural things that people can go through, and then pretty much, and people often do whatever they want at that point.
But the other thing to take in consideration too is this is also, the license is also given by the state. And they're supposed to do investigations if people are violating terms and stuff like that. But
I mean, I think the things you think of, and anything else, whatever ordinance we have, well, in addition applies, as far as noise, hours of operations, depending, and I don't know, I mean, exactly where the crossover is, but some of that, it's in our ordinance, we enforce it.
Yeah, but we don't enforce it, that's the issue, I mean, I can say that.
Well, we don't.
But it isn't, let's put it this way, it isn't enforced at this point.
Okay.
And that's a concern for me. Not that we have these, specific to these, but that we're opening up a whole new field. And we need to have some kind of way to address specifically what, like for noise, we have a decibel meter here. And somebody can take it, measure the decibel meter. But how it's enforced is very murky and not very effective.
Right, but the thing is, we don't enforce, so that's the CEO's job. Or law enforcement, but if it's enforcing ordinances, unless it's a law.
Right.
But the enforcement of ordinance is the job of the CEO, so
The state's got an enforcement arm too, they're allowed immediate access to all these places now that you notice.
But I'm not talking about enforcement of medical marijuana stuff, I'm talking about enforcement of our ordinance. Which might involve this, but in general, like I said, we have ordinances in there, noise ordinances, all that, I don't know, barking dogs and, that, I mean, it's so, I mean, if there's any issue with one of these businesses, like there would be with any business that falls under those ordinances, we the town can address it. If it's something that's unique to this industry, like the smell or something like that, which I can see there's the potential for, I mean, like I said, that's one of the anecdotal complaints I get.
Yeah.
No one's ever been like, oh, it's awful, but they always talk about, I don't know, smell. So if that's indicative of like something that could come down the road, I don't know, maybe it'll just always be that way. But so I guess, what you're talking about to me, maybe those are some things that might be worth considering. Those are unique to this. I don't know how our regular ordinance deals with odor.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Actually, we don't have a smell ordinance, we don't have a noise ordinance. So
No,
We have a noise ordinance.
This is noise ordinance. This is
isn't it here?
I'm aware, that's what we have it, because I see there's a specific decibel level, a certain number of hours.
But again, that relates to.
I guess you're right, I mean, maybe what we really need to address is down the road, is not
Well-
specifically here, is quality of life issues and how they're enforced.
Well, and I think that's like, again, the next discussion will be should the overarching
Is it vape?
marijuana, all that stuff is gonna come into it, and that's where I think, the licensing is, things like that might come into play.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. This is not got you. Yeah, it's hard, because I mean, I try to, there's definitely some unique things that are tied to this, I think we do need to have there should be there'll be an opportunity with overarching ordinances related to the ordinance.
The other issue about this that's a little different than, say, one individual's kind of an establishment, is this tends to be a class of people, you know what I mean? A group of people who, you can see just from the informational meetings, when we have a meeting on marijuana ordinance, there's 20 people here. And they're all people who are involved with it. So they act as a small lobby, so that when you're dealing with a group like that, I think you may need to be prepared for all that weight coming down. If you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. But,
I don't know how to address that, I'm just observing.
So, I mean, I've had that concern as well, but I think at the end of the day, this is a vote that's going up to the town as a whole.
Gotcha.
And the town is gonna be the one that decides that, like, if we've made this, like,
and not seeing that in front of them may be a reason for some people that may be why they vote down some of these things,
I don't necessarily want this voted down, I think it's, it's applicable, but I just raising these concerns.
Well, I mean, that's the tough part. I mean, we gotta address all the potential concerns so that which is, the intention of all of this, of all the ordinance, right? And land use is to try to address concerns of make it so it's works for everybody. That's why you have to, have different zones and figure out different things. So yeah, I don't know. It's challenging because there's a lot. If you don't have enough in there, then some people might feel like, well, they walk away from too many questions, they might vote against something because they're like, well, maybe they want to see more things addressed. I don't know. I don't want to bring it up either. You go both ways. One of these things like you go to town, try to think about it all, and then this is it, right? I don't know.
We've certainly had enough opportunities for the public and everyone to get involved.
Well, that's just it. Like I said, I think anything I had was anecdotal. Nobody was in here saying,
Ultimately, what you're really saying is that when the town comes to vote on this, on the article, the warrant, there's going to be probably more people will be there than have been told this information. It's just the nature of things, right, guys?
well, you'd hope so. You'd hope people would be out.
And,
We had 130 or something at the moratorium meeting, which is more than 20, so yeah. Everybody's paying attention.
however, if the vote goes,
What's that?
Everybody's paying attention, don't worry.
Well, not a lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't.
No, I mean, one meeting was happening.
We'll find out when who shows up to vote.
So we're just making a decision on whether this is good enough. I say,
I
good
was-
enough. Perfect is the enemy of good enough. We're never gonna get it perfect.
I will make one tiny little change to the wording from any supplemental relevant state or local law to all supplementals. Good cause, it's in all of the good cause section. But part one, failed to comply with all the terms, conditions, any rules adopted pursuant to it or all supplemental relevant state or local law rule regulations. It's just.
If you put all though, wouldn't that mean like you have
they
to,
have to meet all.
like all of the, like
All the
not
relevant
So,
ones.
and, well,
But not just
but-
one, but like
by
all,
saying
but
any-
it could be just one supplemental, or if you say
Oh,
all,
okay.
it's like
All right,
you have to have
gotcha.
every single one of them.
Yeah, I could argue either way. All sounds more like you have more recourse.
Sure.
But I need to.
Okay.
I hear you.
You're the only published writer?
Yeah, sure.
We'll take your input.
I didn't know you were a published writer. You could be writing all the rest of the ordinances.
Right, this kind of stuff.
You do now. You sound like you were just about 10 seconds ago.
Get another table, shop.
All right, so you guys ready to vote on this?
Yes, sir.
Well, who's voting?
What's that?
Who's
Yeah, it's-
voting? It's,
Oh, yeah, 'cause, we're missing that number. Oh.
do you have a quorum? You have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Yeah, without an alternate.
Yeah.
Just,
So just
somebody
between us four, all right. So I motion to accept this as a finalized version for the public hearing and town warrant article. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor, so this is going before the town now, a public hearing, so we can talk about the public hearing date. The next time we'd be able to do it, I believe coincides with first workshop, maybe?
So after, anytime after May 1st,
Yeah.
you're talking about it.
Mhm.
We're gonna, there was some discussion right at the end on Saturday about, timing. Night, weeknight versus a.
Yeah,
weekend.
so, what do you guys think about that? Because Saturday, we've done a Saturday before, and it's been better than what it was, but at the same
Yeah,
time.
so-
It's also not like spring.
True.
Yeah, well,
We also had big turnouts on nights as well.
Right.
So better for public hearing, so.
Especially now it's longer.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'll put in like, I would like to not waste the weekend day.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Well, so-
I'd rather do it on the weeknight, I guess.
Our next,
Days.
workshop night is the 7th.
Yeah, I can't take that one. I mean, if you gotta schedule it from then, you gotta
We're gonna have
schedule
to, what do you guys think, when, after the 1st?
So, I mean, you would think about like doing it in place of our workshop? I mean,
No, we need to do that
yeah.
workshop. But I mean, we can move time of the workshop.
You mean like do the workshop earlier?
Well, the workshop has been advertised twice already.
Yeah.
That specific one by us, I have to,
So do we wanna try to do it like right before the workshop so that, I don't know. I think God forbid, we gotta make some change, we gotta do there's some issue, we have some time to address it, right? In public.
The only thing is like, on a weeknight, if we're going before 7 o'clock, I think it's harder to catch people.
Yeah.
So I know you don't get back until 6, right?
Yeah, I know, I was installing the gear, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I hear you.
I'm open to anything, so suggestions after the 1st.
All right, but we're looking at weeknight, right? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, weeknight sounds preferable.
Yeah.
What about like a Friday? You just have to do Tuesday?
It's kind of like a Saturday.
What happened to Thursday? Wednesday and Thursday are possible, but people will come out Friday night.
Only for providing drinks.
Yeah, I don't know. Refreshments.
Yeah.
We're only both in line.
I think I'll look at Mother's Day, but right through Friday.
We'll do Mother's Day.
Sunday?
Sunday at 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody will come there.
Yeah.
What about May 9th?
May 9th is,
That's what, Thursday?
It's a Thursday,
Sure.
7 o'clock.
So, yeah, public hearing.
Yeah,
It's still our workshop on the 7th.
correct.
J-O-B.
I got a check today, man.
Oh, but champagne.
I know.
All right, so, yeah, May 9th, 7 o'clock. Okay,
That's a public hearing?
public hearing.
This is gonna be the one where we say this is the final plan, and this is what it's going to be selected.
Correct. So does that give us three exposures in the shopping guide? That's what we want, because if they screwed up once, then at least we've got.
Can I ask a question about that? When that stuff goes over to shop the guy, how does it go?
It gets emailed.
Carry, right?
Yeah, Mark, it's usually smeared in shit, that's
I don't know. I emailed them a Word document. I assumed they would cut and paste on their end, but I don't know how they do it on their
That's
end.
what I was gonna suggest, is send a
And-
camera-ready copy.
Yeah, so I usually ask them to respond back to me that they received it, and they usually will, they'll say they received
Uh-huh.
it. But the problem is, once it's printed, if there's an error, it's been printed. There's no going back.
Yeah, that's why if they just, use the copy you sent them, and
Right, but I don't have any control over how they do their business over there, so,
Give me a copy of the copy.
I think
yeah.
one of the things that we need to try and start doing too is, I know the most expedient way to get these things done is that 2-week notice. But maybe if we start looking at like 2.5 like this, or two and like 3/4 of the week, then we can kind of put that fail safe in. Because this has screwed us like 4 times at least in the last year.
Well, and if you think about too, like, if you're gonna go by the 2-week rule, and, I don't know, Shopper's Guide, there's an error, they put Tuesday instead of Thursday, or the wrong day, or the wrong time, or whatever. You guys have to meet as a planning board to reschedule that. So you're gonna put it back a month, and then another 2 weeks, so you're looking at 6 weeks down the road. So you're better off to give yourself like an additional, a little bit of wiggle room,
We should
just for
probably
human
start doing
error.
it 3 week, because that way we keep, we know we have
Do
1
they
week
give
to
us
fix
credit
it,
for
and
those
still
days?
keep our
They
date.
do,
They give us
yeah,
credit?
yeah.
That's brutal though, I mean, but I think 3 weeks is really what we're looking at, because that way it'll run once, and if there's anything wrong with it,
Gotcha.
we can still get 2 weeks correct.
It's just
It's
unfortunate.
unfortunate we have to plan that way, but we gotta have a game plan, it's not an occasional thing, it's like a regular thing. Drag stuff out.
Dad talk is good.
Yeah.
So I'll have my dad talk is good.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're good on that portion. We'll move to other business. What time is it?
10
All right, cool. So move to other business quickly. So the agenda for May itself, you don't have anything plugged up for May yet? Okay, so I'm thinking that the Watson Woods topic, we should invite them to attend the May meeting.
there's a problem. Okay, here's what it is. Can I tell you what it is?
Sure.
Because somebody approached me in the community and asked me not to reveal who it was, but it wasn't Gerard. I said, there's a vernal pool on that property, and it dries up, right, we never know that, okay? We don't have any kind of vernal pool study. It's required. And if we wait until May or June to address it, they're not gonna see it. That's my concern. I think,
My concern is that if we're gonna invite, the Watson Woods to that meeting, I think we have to have our scientists lined up for the studies.
We can. Anytime that we're discussing an application, we need to have the applicant present.
Oh, yeah.
On an ongoing application.
So we would need to do that at the meeting.
And we have to have something to line up against, first of all.
Yeah, I mean-
Like, they gotta provide their information.
Yeah, I think the thing was to submit the final,
As far as-
application, then we'll know what type of scientists were.
I think that was, it's pretty much spelled out how it ended up going forward. Just look at that last document, it said that we wanted to have a hydrologic study, wanted to have a science study in regards to what the plantation needs to close. There's also a concern about rainfall. All these studies have to, we're gonna need people to that. And basically, we're gonna have them come and we're gonna tell them that we're gonna hire people. And we're not gonna have any names to tell them who we're hiring. And we're still gonna have to hire people.
But it's a peer review, so we need to have the initial thing to review. you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we asked them to provide us this, to provide these studies to us, and they do, you know, review them. Well, that
No.
we have them.
No. That information's been given us already. They've already had their soil scientists and all that stuff done. It was left with our lawyer, am I wrong? He said that it would be our responsibility, the board, to seek out legal and scientific help.
Right, to
So-
review some of the
to
work.
review the work.
But that's what you're saying, to review the work
To
they've done.
review the work.
Right.
You know, and we're basically gonna tell them mid-May that we're gonna get our scientists to look at the work. They're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna present us with anything different.
they came up with a whole new final plan.
I have to adjust the driveways,
And we don't know what they're gonna,
we don't know.
yeah, that, they were given specific stuff they have to present to us.
Aside from that, though, we also need to do a sidewalk.
Maybe that's the solution,
Well, but
do a
that's-
sidewalk.
That's done after they submit the final plan, right? We go do the sidewalk
No, we do a sidewalk before,
before they.
because we waived it then, we can do a site, but, I mean, we can do it once we have a final plan too, which
Yeah,
makes
I think
sense.
that's when it's really important, because that's when it's supposed to be laid out, when you have to actually check everything and say, all right, well, this is like this, and whatever. But as
I'm just saying we
far,
have the option to.
right, to do one prior to that, to what, to inspect the burn, I mean, what are we gonna, yeah, there's a vernal pool in mid-May.
Here's a suggestion. It costs us a little money. We should contact our lawyer, say, we're reviewing the process, we want to do that with you. We want to hear. We want to know what our options are. We want to make sure that we use all of our legal options and not wing it.
So then why not do what JP said and invite them to the meeting in May, which, I don't know, what is it, early, is what, the 16th or the 21st or something? That might be past that mid, I don't know what the point is on those vernal pools.
I don't know much about it.
I don't either, but I
It
don't know
also
what we can
depends
do
on how
around
the
that.
weather.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't see any other way around it. We have to invite them and then discuss
Yeah, I
it.
don't mind.
Okay, yeah, so that's what we'll do. I'll invite the lawyer for the next meeting. I'll invite the applicant. We'll talk a game plan for things just going forward. We'll get a sense of when their final plan might be submitted, and then we'll talk about experts in it, and we'll really dive into
Right,
everything.
I mean,
Does that sound good?
I think even without inviting the lawyer, you know, we just probably just pose that question to them.
Yeah.
When do we get our peer reviews?
When do we get, well, we want to know, yeah, we gave them a list, right?
Right.
That's what we did, we gave them a list, they come back to us with the list.
Yeah.
The things that they
Right,
had
but there's a
done.
couple of things like that high intensity soil test, they claim it's done and it's ready to be reviewed, you know, so there are a few things like
Well,
that.
if they got stuff they want to bring, great.
Yeah, there's things like that, like
But
things that
until
they
they do that, we
submitted.
gotta, you know.
Okay,
we
so
wanna know what you're asking.
Here's what I'll do. I will email both the town lawyer and I'll CC the incoming rear. Just put it out there that we're interested in discussing it during the next meeting. And if they have anything from the list of conditions that has been completed, please email it to us so we can discuss it during that meeting. That way, if we do have something to work with, at least we have something to discuss and we can kind of work it there, and that's not gonna be a game planning thing.
Okay, but still, we've overlooked, we've sort of bypassed or sort of slipped over some of
The vernal
The
pool?
vernal pool.
So I mean, to make that happen between now and then,
I don't know if it's possible. It would have to be a site walk with them, basically.
Basically, tell them first week of June or late May, we want to sign.
Right, so you're
Pools
saying
on the
before May
Hesse Road, right?
Yeah, the vernal pool's up towards the existing house.
I don't know where.
Yeah, it's on Hussey Road, up towards the existing house.
I remember being discussed before, it went from 14 now down to 8.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been brought up now because the
It's on the
8
area,
lots
yes.
don't affect where the vernal pool location
It is on the area that they're not
Okay.
developing right now. I don't know if whoever told you that, and whether that's important or not. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a strip on Hesse originally that they were gonna put houses on, which we had no cut buffer around.
Right.
There was a vernal pool, so
Okay.
I mean, it had been addressed, the plan just doesn't include it now because
I'm just working off the stuff that Gerard is feeding us.
Yeah, and it might not be such an issue now because it is on the undeveloped, on the part that's proposed to be undeveloped.
So everything is fine.
Cool.
I'm always ready to go.
I like it. All right. So that takes care of that. Do two things. We'll go through the rest of the stuff. So upcoming workshop scheduled for May 7th for drafted bylaws and standard operating procedures.
Sorry, you were talking about the meeting, right, just now, not the workshop. Like,
No, I was talking about the next meeting. Inviting the lawyer to the next meeting. I was just transitioning to the workshop now. Did you?
Is that something we should probably have them, Roxanne Woods here as well?
Yes, so I'm gonna email the lawyer, CC Pinkham and Greer, or the applicant, and then invite them to the next meeting. Give them a basis that we're gonna test forward, and if they have any information that they wanna throw us in the interim, they can send it to the email address and we'll take a look at it. So, now, the workshop on May 7th, I have just a very rough draft from MMA that I've kind of put together for our bylaws. So that'll be like a starting document that we can base everything off of. And then this isn't gonna be sorted out in one workshop. This is gonna have to be a recurring thing. Maybe it might take like 4 or 5 months. But one of the things that I want to make sure that gets done is like we articulate each position in the planning board, what the roles and responsibilities are, and then how we react to any situation that we have since we've all been on the board. So things like posting news articles, or news ads, like steps 1 through however many it takes to get that done, and who the point of contacts are, and that being one separate sheet. Another thing will be like doing a warrant article, steps 1 through blah, 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 and what that involves, applicable timelines. And I want to put all of that together in one little book, and whoever comes on the board past us.
So your cheat sheet.
Exactly. That's what we should have had when each of us came on the board, and we will all leave with it being done, okay? Now, that's the intent for the workshop, the bylaws, standard operating procedures, and the last thing to talk about, before anybody else wants to talk about stuff, so the 2 other marijuana things, the adult use. Do you guys want to set a day to tackle this, or do you guys want to go through it tonight? I kind of get the feeling this would be the perfect time to work, but also it could be our shortest meeting ever.
Right.
So,
That'd be okay with you.
yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
And I kind of feel like we should, maybe.
See how.
Yeah, kind of like look at that, like
I think there are
embellished, but
pressure
then
ones.
move
That's where the
on.
pressure was on the medical one. Not to say that we shouldn't address it, we absolutely should.
Right. So my suggestion is that we put this on June's agenda. No, let's say July.
But, well, we could technically get it on to the.
We could.
Because if we would address the public hearing,
No, I mean,
no, we probably.
I want
But we
to
won't know the results of the town
You wanna
vote.
be like.
I want to be done. I want that vote checked out.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want then move on.
I think it's a good way to do it, is once the town vote has been done, then we put this.
But I don't want to say I want to kick it down the road.
Does
I
that
want to
mean,
deal with it.
does
like-
that mean it gets voted on next June if we do that? Is that what, that's what that, because is that what we're looking at here? The medical ordinance will be voted on with the town vote in June?
No, I think they'll probably do a special town.
That's what
What is that? That was
I
an
think-
assumption.
Do we have a?
What's in
Maybe it's August, I'm sorry.
I think it's like
August.
September.
No, it's September.
Oh, September,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
So I think that if the special town vote happens for the medical portion, then that gives us a couple months to kind of get this set up, the adult use, than anything else like we do for the regular town.
Yeah.
That would be that's a reasonable objective.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't want to kick it down the road, but I want to deal with it until I know it's
I feel a little less pressure on this one.
Yeah.
Medical marijuana is a kind of a clear need for us to get it done. People who need it, people sitting in, in the limbo trying to get their businesses going. This is, I think it's probably more loaded, and we should take more care of, not that we haven't taken care of that.
And plus we have time since the state still hasn't finalized any sort of retail plans. That I'm aware of, right?
But the all about is making competitive.
Yeah, it doesn't mean,
It's gonna happen.
waiting for the state, but at the same time, it's not like anyone can open up a retail.
That's assuming we don't have some other disaster on us.
Right. Some other weird-
May's just around the corner.
So, so the adult use and then the other one, we'll put on the back burner right now. And that is all that I have. Who has something?
Just one question, will you be calling our lawyer?
I'll be emailing him. I'll CC everyone.
Can you ask him the question, we understand that we have to review some of their findings with our science people. Can you ask him if this is something we should do before this May meeting? At least hire the hot break, just ask him that question.
Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Can you type up what you want me to email?
Okay.
Email it to me and I'll include it in the email.
Okay.
And then I'll CC everyone.
Great.
Trying to think. So,
One thing,
yeah.
do we have to vote on a new board member? Did Marion's resignation on that? Accepted?
So-
Was she a temporary until another election? Is that how they-
Basically
So
fill
the-
the rest of her
Yeah,
term.
following the
She took a 2-year term that Carl abandoned, so her term is up next year, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, she took Carl's spot, is what she did.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly when it ends, but it.
But she got elected for that spot though.
Yeah, but it's still only, she's only got to
Set term.
fill out that
Okay.
time, so she doesn't have the full 5-year term. It was to fill out the rest of Carl's term, which I
That makes
believe was 2 or 3 years or something.
Yeah.
We have to find out.
Yeah, so I guess the thing to discuss is if one of the alternates would like to transition to the Marion's
Step it up.
position.
One of the alternates wants to step it up.
I think like, don't they?
So you're saying you can't?
I can't.
Right.
Well, you keep running the comprehensive plan, I think.
Yeah, I'm running, I'm running, making all clear.
Right, it's hard.
I'm running with three other.
So are you, buddy.
Would you be interested in doing it?
What, do we need to recruit somebody?
I'm not even like 5 months into my term yet.
You can be elected as a brand new.
You had more training than all the rest of
I
us.
never even got to be an alternate.
Yeah, I think I was 2 months in being an alternate before.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's, but unless there's
The pay's
somebody,
better.
unless there's somebody out there who's really been itching to get on the plane.
So the
Once they come in.
the selectmen, after my executive session, they informed me that Marion had submitted her formal resignation. They asked what the plan was going forward, filling their spot. I told them, we don't have a plan, we haven't discussed it, we'll discuss it during our next board meeting. Their recommendation was we should, if there's someone interested, fill her spot with one of our alternates. But the alternate position, we're gonna leave open until the election in September.
So we don't have to get somebody, like what happened to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, if you're interested, then,
Yeah, I'll do it.
okay.
I'll do
I figured you
Wait,
would
well,
have to.
wait a second.
You kind of like Caesar put the crown aside.
Wait a second though, is it like, where are we with her term now? I'm not looking at the 5-year term.
I think you're looking at shortening your term.
Yeah, no, you're looking at maybe 2 years or something. I mean, you can find out, but it's
I
not.
gotta do 2 years before I can get out of here. 2 more
Chump
years.
change.
We have a big yard to keep
Yeah.
walking, you're not just in a single cell, you're.
Do that time on my head, come on. Alright,
So,
A year and a half at this point. That's 6
Well,
months, 2 years.
yep, I'll email the planning board, or not planning board, I'll email the select board, I'll CC everybody on the planning board. And they'll probably draft up the papers on Tuesday. And if they can get to it on that agenda, they'll sign them and then go have to just go into the office. No, once they've done their portion.
Go get sworn out again.
I just had some, is the table of contents been updated for the?
Yes, I know the one that I got.
She's got some cheat sheets up there that you can
Right
plug in.
behind you
your
guys.
book.
Okay.
It says,
Subdivision.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
This is the screwed up,
The new table of contents with land use.
thought I had it squared away, but just, everybody get one? Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, just as a general rule of thumb, if you guys, you can't make a meeting or something, do you guys want me to call you to just try and remind you or no? Because like, honestly, I don't want to feel like I'm bugging you. I understand that you guys are volunteering to do this.
I was really offended when you called.
I thought so. Yeah. He called me back, he's like, who is this?
New number, who dis?
I don't mind,
I can't wait.
I don't mind everybody.
No, I'm fine, Google, yeah.
It's not like Google, you know, we all.
Really, the
Google
responsible
Calendar,
thing
whatever.
to do
For us to
to call you and say we couldn't make it, right? That would be the right thing.
So I mean, I'm wondering, I know because like people move in and out of positions and often on the board, but it'd be, I think, helpful to have like one email distribution. I know we have a planning board one, but that's kind of goes to, all those emails kind of come to you, correct?
Yeah, I think that's just something
It'd be nice to have like, you know, planning board members,
like distro.
yeah, districts, so you type that in and then it goes to everybody. Because sometimes, you know, when you're,
Can you look into that, see if that's something you can do?
Uh,
I tried to do it with this computer, but it's got like 2005 Outlook, Microsoft Outlook on here.
what exactly? do
So when you set up Microsoft Outlook on the new laptop, once that's done, you should be able to create a distro list to modify the email. So when somebody sends something to planning at parsonsfield.org, it'll shoot to like 5 or 6 email addresses. That should be a thing, and if it's not,
yeah,
then it's
I
not.
can look into it too
Yeah.
and figure something. I just, again, like if it was just like an email address that had all current planning board members on it,
I
you
think,
know, because that way, again, like if I'm running late, I can just shoot an email to that, so
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not gonna do it.
I'll look into it.
so just talk with David, because whoever manages the email server should be able to set that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to give everybody a heads up on what we're doing in the conservation plan.
Sure.
By the end of, like early May, we hope to have a comprehensive survey going in. Hopefully mail to every resident, pays taxes. And it's, pretty comprehensive, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have it available for people to pick up and submit for a 6-week period. And after that, we'll see how many people have taken it and filled it out. And then if we don't have enough sample, like I said, for another 6 weeks. And then we'll do all the statistical work. We're also gonna have 3 prizes to give out.
What is he gonna mail out the,
We're gonna hopefully mail them, and there'll be something on the town website, survey monkey, get people to download it. We're gonna just collect as many as we can get. At the end of the 6 or 12 weeks, we're gonna pick 3 winners, and it's out of our pocket. We're trying to have a carrot. Like a 10-day survey. It's not like-
What's the intent of the information? Because I know.
The intent of the information is to see where people stand on water, road use, environment, how they, just look.
And if you
You'll
get
see.
like, if you get like a majority of people who are concerned with like
Yeah, we'll put it all
this,
statistically
then
together, and then we can
that's,
start to develop the plan.
okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
That's kind of standard,
Right, you guys are getting basic demographic information.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like, it's,
Right, we're gonna get it.
if you read the comprehensive plan, it's basically like all that information that it addresses, is sort of that's what it is, it's
So
a
we're
survey
gonna
collecting that.
update it,
and that's a standard, right? That's the way it's done across the board.
pretty much, yeah. We actually got orders, updated survey, and kind of set ours up after theirs, tweaking a bunch of stuff. They just did the survey the other day.
Has anybody else updated the comprehensive plan around us?
Field is, I've seen answers shopping back.
Yeah, because, and orders on their way, they might not have it ready to go.
And do it for at least a year.
Yeah, close to 2 years. So they're coming into the home stretch. So hopefully I'm only in jail for 3 years.
I'm gonna head out.
Anybody else got anything? No. All right. So, motion to adjourn?
Second.
Everyone in favor? Aye. Motion is adjourned, 8:10, plus 4.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Senior.